to Fight Night Hearthstone Edition, featuring some of the top players from around the world. With $15,000 of prize money on the line, who will go home the Hearthstone champion? This is Fight Night.
Welcome back to another episode of Fight Night Hearthstone Season 5. Last night, Eckhart was able to tie up the series against Chalky, and now tonight, Nyhx will have to face up against Forsen. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll tell you all right about it after you take a look at yesterday's highlights.
Yep. And that is going to be GG.
Yep.
All right, game number 1 going to ECOP. And Chalky just gives up, giving ECOP a lead 2-0. So far 5-0 with this exact Shaman deck.
Wow.
Yep. And that is going to be that.
Wow, he went for the good manner finish. He did not overkill him as much as possible.
Yeah, Chalky's a nice kid.
Don't you think it's more appropriate for the viewers to make people mad in general?
Yeah, generally. They generally like salty guys or like angry guys or rude guys or like sarcastic guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
besides against it.
Looks like ECOP will end up winning this game. That was kind of crazy.
You top deck that, right? Who cares? I win.
Welcome back to ESGN TV's Fight Night. I am Artosis once again alongside Criparian. And Crip,
hey,
haven't we been having a great time?
We have having a great time.
We have been having a great time. And in fact, we had a great time last night watching a pretty greedy match.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part too. Everything else is behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. But this crazy match that we saw with ECOP, what did you think about that, ECOP against Chalky?
Well, we saw ECOP getting greedy, and then he got lucky, and then he won. So his greed was very well rewarded, and it's pretty fun to see sometimes.
You like the greedy approach? I know that you're actually a pretty greedy player overall.
Yeah, I'm greedy for the board, you know? It's my board.
It's your
board. Don't allow totems or 1/1 creatures. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Definitely a very greedy game. Make sure you check it out if you haven't. Now, the match that we're going to be watching tonight is actually going to be Nyhx going up against Forsen. And earlier in the season, you know, we did see both these players play already. And Nyhx did end up winning his match, whereas Forsen still looking for that first victory.
Yeah, they both played quite well, I thought. Forsen still without a victory, as some of the other players are as well. Still a little bit hungry, but, you know, it took Trump 4 attempts.
That's right.
And I think we have a candidate to beat that.
We do. Savitz will be playing the last match, the last individual match in the season. But I don't know. Let's take a closer look at these players.
My name is Sebastian, Forsen Force, and I'm playing on Team Managrind.
Hey guys, I'm Nyhx, and I'm from Germany. I'm 20 years old, and I'm playing Hearthstone for Team DogeHouse. I think DogeHouse is at a huge advantage for being here twice and recording 4 seasons already. They don't know how exhausting this actually is. It's really exhausting, and I think we will have a huge advantage in that regard.
I think Team DogeHouse has a lot more experience when it comes to being a team. Playing and practicing and coming up with new decks and stuff. They are more integrated than we are, for sure, I think. But I think we still have a really good chance against them because individually we are still really strong players, and this is, after all, a 1v1 game.
So when we talk about Managrind, there's an European team and an American team, and for Fight Nights they came together and basically formed the best team they could make, I guess. Then there's Forsen. I don't have anything to say about Forsen. He seems really introverted, and yeah.
I don't think that there's a problem with them swapping out Nyhx for Nyhx. I think it's still a very good, strong lineup they have. The fact that Nyhx is a friend with Dark Nyhx won't change, I think, since they won't spoil each other's team. They have too much honor for that.
Now let's meet the players. From Team Managrind, Reels, Dark Nyhx, Chucky, and Forsen. From Team DogeHouse, Nyhx, S05E08, Artosis, and ECOP. So here are the rules for Fight Night Hearthstone Edition. 8 players form 2 teams and battle it out 4v4. 2 team captains spin the heartless ESGN wheel, which will determine the matchups. Now the battle begins. In order to win, the player has to beat all 3 of his rivals' decks. After all the players have battled solo, it's time for the final ace match. All 4 players on each team unite in a grand showdown to find out who is the strongest. Ultimately, the stakes are high. Teams can win as much as $5,000 for crushing their opponents. If one team manages to go even further and clean sweep their opponents, the winners will receive a huge bonus reward of $5,000 on top.
Hey everybody, I'm on the couch with S05E08 and ECOP cheering on Nyhx. Now, Nyhx got his first win in Fight Night, and now he's up against Forsen. ECOP, you've played Forsen. How do you feel like his chances are matching up?
Well, Nyhx's chances are pretty good, because I feel pretty confident he can win this. He's the better player and the better deck builder in my opinion. And yeah, we will see. I mean, it all comes down to luck, obviously, as well. I'm kind of worried about the matchups as well. Like, I think the matchups might favor Forsen. But yeah, anything can happen in Hearthstone. We will see what happens.
Yeah, I can share the worrying about that deck list and how it's gonna match up. But I think Nyhx still has a slight edge. But it's gonna be an interesting series because Forsen was running some kind of weird stuff last season. So I'm really curious to see what he's gonna come out with this time.
All right, well, best of luck to Nyhx in his upcoming match.
Stay tuned for more Fight Night.
Fight Night is awesome, and for winners.
When I'm not fapping to top Decken and Reckon, I'm watching Fight Night.
Welcome back to Fight Night.
All right, I'm here in the Managrind corner just to talk a little bit about Forsen's games ahead of time. Dark Nyhx. Forsen was telling me before the match and some of the other guys, you know what, it's not even really about the money, it's about the win. He wants to be able to get a victory, especially after last time he didn't like how the series went. Talk a little bit about his mindset coming into this match.
His mindset for this match is he has interesting deck lists. They're not the same as everyone else. And he wants to redeem himself against these draws, because he drew pretty badly in all his matchups.
So Forsen seems like he wants to have some better luck this time around. Reels, you think he can pull it out even if he doesn't need luck per se?
I definitely think his decks today are really good and might even line up pretty well against what his opponent is playing. So with that in mind, I really think that this is one he can take down.
All right, and Chucky, this is the first time we're going to see Hunter for this season of Fight Night. Does Forsen have something really crazy planned? Because I've seen Forsen's decks in the past. It seems kind of wacky.
You know, he just might. We'll have to see in the games.
All right, being cryptic as always. Well, we're going to find out with our first games. Let's give it back to Crip and Artosis.
So Crip, here we are. We have the deck selection. We're going to be seeing Warrior from Nyhx. And from Forsen, we're going to see Miracle Rogue. Yeah, and you know, Miracle Rogue so far in
totally
season, yeah, it's been
no
garbage.
wins.
It has 0 wins. It like either doesn't draw like a sap or it doesn't draw an auctioneer. We'll see if he can do it.
It doesn't
here.
draw wins, and that's the important.
It like it gets half of what it needs.
Yeah.
Like exactly.
Well, this is a little bit different. It's got It's got Mr. Cleef.
Yeah, he's got the Van Cleef in there. He's even got an Acolyte of Pain, so a little bit more card draw than some of the stuff that we've seen. But
I'd imagine Cleef would not be that effective against the Warrior, as this Warrior runs 2 Executes, and Cleef is just big guy.
This is like the exact Kit Kat's, I guess, Warrior list. It's it's quite a good one. So, you know what? Let's go ahead, jump into game number 1, and see if he can pull off a miracle.
Versus Valera.
All right, here we go.
So we're looking for that Auctioneer right off the bat.
Yep. As far as Nyhx goes, he actually thinks that this is like a mid-ranged rogue. I was talking to him, and that's what he was pretty sure that this was going to be. So he's going to mulligan maybe a little bit. Hey, look at that. A backstab and a gouge is on. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, backstab's not going to work against the Frothing.
No, and in fact, he has 2 Frothings, so he might be able to put on a decent amount of pressure if not enough removal is found.
Yeah, Frothing's probably one of the better creatures in the deck. It's not really big enough to keep sapping and, just messing around with, and it's not quite small enough to get killed instantly.
Yeah, he's going to have to like combo out Eviscerate or something like that. A little bit annoying.
Strange.
All right, so, while they're deciding their mulligans, I want to ask you, how has the food situation here been for you at ESGN?
We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So basically the way it works is... Oh, there's Pagel.
Oh, yeah.
Basically the way it works is to...
Wow, that's a really good hand. Anyways,
put it in the frame of Hearthstone. Basically, I have to come here and ask for some vegan foods. I have to fish it up from the guys who make it there.
Yeah.
And
the fish, of course, being made out of tofu, but yeah, please continue.
Not exactly, but yeah.
No.
So...
Golden Pagel didn't draw. Wow. Anyways, please continue.
I get a very limited amount of sandwiches.
Yeah.
And this morning, this said limited amount of sandwiches was left alone as I had to attend to, some of what we do here, some of the casting. And when I returned, there was a sandwich missing.
That's messed up. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I was there, and I do have to tell you that Nyhx took it, and we told him not to.
Yeah,
we told him that's Crips.
I don't believe
it says vegan food for vegans, and he's not a vegan. You can look at how muscly he is.
I don't believe you told him that, actually.
I swear to God that I told him that.
I knew it was him anyway because it's always Nyhx.
This is actually true. You walked in and you were like, "Where's my sandwich? Where's Nyhx?" And he just started to laugh. It's like, he's a thief though. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, he likes my stuff too much. He even took my seat at lunch when I got up to get a little bit more food. Can you believe that?
Oh man, he just wants to be you.
All these things cannot bode well for the RNG that this match is going to require, I think.
Well, speaking of said RNG, that Pagel going to be taken out, and already a 5/3 Frothing Berserker here.
That was a really good play, and he actually pulled it off pretty quick, so you have to be pretty impressed about that.
Yeah. Now, looking at this rogue hand...
It's a pretty good draw if the Pagel was still alive.
Yeah, that would be, wouldn't it? Cold-blooding a Pagel is a good move, so I hear.
Into a Frothing, specifically.
All right, so he does have that Auctioneer, and already with a couple backstabs out, of course they aren't going to do very well against this Frothing who's already been hurt a little bit here. Does have the Shiv. What is he going to try to do here, though? There's no good way to get rid of him. Like, are you just going to sap this guy?
Yeah.
Could be. Well.
This is where you slowly and a lot of disappointment point the card in your hand to the Frothing.
Yeah. So he does get sapped, but you know what? Right now, how do you think this game is going for each player? Who would you put in the lead?
Well, right now the Warrior is easily in the lead. His hand is very appropriate to deal with the Rogue deck. But it's not like no one is going to win. I mean, the Rogue's going to win extremely quickly if he is.
Well, here we could see something like a backstab SI7 agent, just kind of start setting up the board a little bit more, get some control, maybe put a little bit of damage on the Warrior to help the going off a little bit better.
Well,
and that's pretty
one
much
damage on the Warrior.
Yeah. Well, a couple damage, really. Look at that. 28.
Well, another one, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Soon to be nullified, I'd imagine.
Well, you can only kill your opponent one step at a time.
This turn, actually.
Think he's going to armor up? Yeah, it's kind of looking like it. 5 mana. There's not a whole lot else that he can do here. Probably going to axe his 3/3. Charging up his Frothing Berserker a little bit more. And now he's at about 20, well, exactly 27 life, I guess. So we do have this this auctioneer out. Do you play the auctioneer this turn, you think?
Play the auctioneer.
Yeah, probably use a conceal. And he does, in fact, conceal.
That's a good card to get, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to keep him alive for a lot longer. You know, one of the problems with playing Warrior against this, well, two of the problems. You have no taunts in a Warrior control deck. And a Warrior control deck, generally speaking, takes a bit to kill your opponent. So that gives the Miracle Rogue not too much pressure to have to deal with. And the fact that he's gotten both saps already, that's going to slow him down. Like that Karn, he can just bounce the Karn.
I think he is going to bounce the Karn.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to see...
Bounce into Eviscerate?
Karn, backstab... sap, backstab, SI agent... And maybe even Eviscerate to the face.
Yeah, that's actually, I quite like that. And in fact, here we go.
Or Shiv to the face.
Ooh, Shiv to the face. All right, so the SI7 agent I would think is going to come down, but he's thinking about doing the sap first just to see what he draws, which is always a smart move as well. And in fact, if he's going to play the sap, he may as well play it before SI, because it doesn't make sense not to. All right, so he's going to go ahead, sap up this Karn, really slowing down his opponent. Wow, indeed, getting a preparation.
He can push for a cleave here. He can do a prep, eviscerate, shiv, and then cleave. Or a cleave.
Prep, eviscerate. Yes, yes indeed. And oh my god, he's got a Shadow Step at this point. Well, he doesn't need that yet. Gonna go ahead and shiv there. And it looks like he's not gonna play the cleave.
Not this turn.
No. But you know what? He's gonna deal 8 damage, clear the board. This is like going really, really well for him so far. And just gonna keep that dagger completely full.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Well, we need to see some damage going on. He's gonna have to shield block. There's, I mean,
no,
he could tink.
Yeah. What else are you gonna
think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think you can shield block as well. Well, that's not going to do it. All right, Tink, let's see what you got. Is that going to be a 5/5? Oh, 1/1. All right, there you go. He lives another turn. But you know what? It is turn 8. Things starting to look pretty good. And, well, he has Shadow Step and Eviscerate out here. So that's like 6, 12, 16, plus 4, 5...
I don't even know where these numbers are coming from. There's a lot of numbers there.
He can't quite kill me. He can get him down to 3, I believe, right now. So I don't think we're going to actually see him go for the full kill this turn. We might see this eviscerate to the face. If he had gotten the dinosaur, he actually would have had the kill, it looks like. So, kind of lucky there. Going to play the cleave, and this is like looking completely unwinnable for Nyhx. I know this warrior deck very well. You're just dead here.
Don't you have the brawl?
Yeah, but even with that,
brawl the acolyte
in hand, there's so much damage still that like in a couple turns, I would be very surprised if he couldn't.
Yeah, well,
couldn't do it.
He's gonna have to shield block and get the brawl and get a crappy outcome.
Well, he can actually execute now off of this, which is quite nice. Maybe armor up as well. Could play the Pagel. Let's see. Just counting up damage a little bit. He's only quote unquote at 21 health. That can go awfully quick against Miracle Rogue though.
The Leroy's gonna do 12 plus the 5. He's alive. And if he stays alive, he can Alistraza for even another turn, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I think he just died, didn't he?
I think so. Let's see. 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 4. No, 5. So he can do 21, but it's at 23. So he's getting a little bit closer each turn. The turn before, I believe that he could get him down to 3. This time 2.
Time plus 12, 20. Yeah, I got 21 as well. I got 20.
He can Blade Fury as well.
No, he can't. Because the weapon attack.
Yeah, you're right. That's
21.
That's 1 mana short, right? So, yeah, he probably should attack right into this with the Acolyte. Just draw a card, see what he can get. Fan of Knives, okay. I wouldn't mind seeing a Fan of Knives here. He's just checking right now what type of options he actually has. But I think he's probably going to Fan of Knives because he can't quite kill this turn, so no reason to really play it out.
Do you play the Blood Mage just so you have something?
Yeah, I think so. Because whether he cycles or he dies, it doesn't even matter. Oh, he's actually...
Yeah, he can Leroy Fan of Knives.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's quite nice. I'm going to leave the Cold Blood on this one. And just Shadow Stepping that Leroy back. Oh, boy. Down to 9 life. Sorry, Nyhx.
Bad times.
Mass Well Played's coming out. Ooh, the Manor. Forsen showing that BM.
Well, he might think he's alive with Alistraza, but he's not.
Well, I mean, Leroy plus that is 13, and then we have 14 with the Acolyte, and then we have the Dagger. So no, I don't think he thinks he's alive. I'm pretty sure he knows.
Damn.
All right, so the Miracle Rogue, for the first time this season, actually succeeds in going off.
Oh, crushes, actually.
Yeah, it really crushes. A very good draw, having everything he needed that game. And the thing is, the matchup was pretty good for him, I think, just because Nyhx didn't get off to a really quick start with the Warrior deck. It takes a while to actually kill your opponent with that.
Well, if you get the Auctioneer and you get the 6 or 7 cards from him, I've heard the deck turns out pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. So let's go over to the couches and see what the players are saying.
Get it. That was the hardest one for my Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, for sure.
It was great.
That was really good. Almost all of your spell decisions were really good. All of them.
The one bad thing
that you need to do is
stabbing. You need to stab more.
Sometimes you want to save it in case you're full weapon, in case you have it deadly.
Okay, so the turn you SI'd the next turn, right? You had 5 mana and you were going to dagger up anyway. And so the turn before that, you passed without stabbing.
Yeah.
And then there was one turn.
I didn't know that was going to top deck the 7.
And then
you didn't top deck that.
You didn't. You already had it. You drew it off of that turn off of like a
So you missed 1 damage there, and then you missed 1 damage the turn before you drew like something, and you would have killed him. Okay. It's okay. You got him the next turn.
You had 12. Like, so just always count mana, always count damage.
Right.
Because
great job.
Like you didn't do that one attack.
Yeah.
And that missed 1 damage. And then later, you just decided not to attack him closer to the end.
Yeah, whenever you're really close to a
the turn you played,
you might as well just stab him with a 2 durability.
The turn you played Acolyte, he had 23 health and you had 21 damage.
Yeah.
And you didn't attack the turn before, and you didn't attack the SI turn.
I think I wanted to save it for like, if I didn't get Fan of Knives, I wanted to save the...
For Deadly Poison.
Deadly.
Yeah, but also like to stab a Wealth if I played my Leroy around earlier and Acolyte on Wealth. That was like my plan, but...
Right.
Yeah.
But you still would have had a charge to be able to do that.
I would have,
You should always...
I should have stabbed his face,
You would have only gone down to 1 charge.
When you have a potential lethal, like that 1 damage could not allow it.
So,
fine job
probably
though.
gonna play the...
What's he have left?
He has a rogue left, and I think it's Miracle as well.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm very good at Miracle matchups, so the mirror. But it all depends on like the start.
Yeah, of course.
If you get the coin, it's so much better in American mirror.
Of course.
Because you get an extra card and the coin.
Yeah. And the coin you can combo with so many
The
cards.
coin is essentially an extra card almost.
It is.
So yeah, I thought it was really good keeping the Get and Auctioneer in my starting end.
Yeah, I like that.
It worked out.
Yeah.
I was saying
sometimes
that you should
draw
mulligan
2.
it. Because
what if you draw none?
drawing a second one would be a disaster.
Yeah.
Drawing 0 is a disaster.
And you need other things early.
My only chance is Auctioneer, so even if I get 2, it's better than I get.
I agree.
That's my wish.
Stay tuned for more Fight Night.
Get hyped for Fight Night on ESGN TV, please no copy pasterino.